Richmond, Virginia, the story starts. 1848, on the Ides of March. Jackson Merriweather, born into the tether, to work the land and never live to see a dime.
It's Friday. I just got back home from work and it's weekend tomorrow. I am going out with my mom and dad. We are going to this tiger reserve, and one thing about my mom and dad and me is that even my brother, we all love being around nature. And mom and dad, they actually left the city and settled in a really quiet place to be around nature. So like that is how much they love nature. And my only agenda for now is to pack my freaking luggage. I also got smishkies. Like, do you want a close-up? Such a bad close-up, but that is what you're gonna get. We are talking about the books I'm taking with me on this trip. So I'm currently reading A Small Boat by Vincent Delecroix. I started this last night. I've just made it to page 9. So basically I'm 2 pages in and currently reading the introduction. So what's happening is this book is based on an actual story. So for those who don't know, this one was shortlisted for the Booker Prize 2025. This one was on everyone's list. Like everyone knew that this is gonna win, and then Heartland came and took the win, and yeah, that happened. It goes, in November 2021, an inflatable dinghy carrying migrants from France to the United Kingdom capsized in the channel, causing the death of 27 people on board. Despite receiving numerous calls for help, the French authorities wrongly told the migrants they were in the British waters and had to call the British authorities for help. By the time rescue vessels arrived on the scene, all but 2 of the migrants had died. The narrator of Delecroix's fictional account of the event is the woman who took the calls, accused of failing in her duty. She refuses to be held more responsible than others for this disaster. Why should she be more responsible than the sea, than the war, than the crisis behind these tragedies? A shocking moral tale of time. A Small Boat reminds us the power of fiction to illuminate our darkest crimes. And it's very tiny, so I'm sure I can finish it in a day. So of course this one is coming with me because I don't think I will read anything today. I'm also watching this Korean drama right now on Netflix. The title is Tastefully Yours. Not the best rom-com out there, but it's funny and I'm enjoying it, so I'm watching it. So I plan on watching that. And then the other book that I'm planning to take with me is... So I have some options. I have Vanishing World by Sayaka Murata. I really want to read this one. Also Mushed by Georges Bernanos. Really good pick. I don't know, I have such great titles in here. I also got this Coming Up for Air by George Orwell the other day at the bookstore. I actually want to read this one as well. I just don't feel like reading a George Orwell right now, so I won't do that to me. Then I'm also reading The Covenant of Water for the book club, but this one is thick. I'm definitely not carrying this with me because I was trying to fat shame a book. I'm so sorry. And then we have Ghachar, Ghochar by Vivek, Shanbag. So while I was at the bookstore the other day, I actually picked 2 titles. One is Coming Up for Air, the other one is Ghachar, Ghochar. And this is also quite tiny, plus I haven't read an Indian author in so long, so maybe I should just take 2 tiny books with me. That's gonna make more sense. What do you think? Okay, so we are taking Small Boat and Ghachar Ghochar with us. And now that we're done with this, I had a few more agendas. Also, I am currently obsessed with this Kayali vanilla candy perfume. I think I should get like a full size because it's that good. Also, I made myself some coffee. I was yapping and totally forgot I made myself some coffee. Flow time for you and for me.
He had a better plan to be a union man, to make a run across that Mason-Dixon line. He heard tell about a railway underground, running through the night and always is northern bound. When I go, I'll die a free man, in a place where I belong. Virginia falling, Pennsylvania, you are calling me home. Go on home. On the day he left the South, it's when the war broke out. Joined the 25th and shut the rebels down. He marched across the land with those who took a stand, that no one's got the right to own their fellow man. Spring of 65, came back to start life, work on his own time and learn to live again. He became a father, Scranton's finest barber, make his way out from the way that he came in. When I go, I'll die a free man, in a place where I belong. Virginia falling, Pennsylvania, you are calling me home. Go on home. Jackson Merriweather, his story told forever. The way you're born is never how you have to die. You can't find him still, laid down in Forest Hill. You can hear him in the wind that shakes the pines. When I go, I'll die a free man, in a place where I belong. Virginia falling, Pennsylvania, you are calling me home. Go on home.
If I tell you it took me 15 bloody minutes to fix the mic, would you believe me? Of course you will. I'm a noob like that. So I am back from my trip. I hope that wasn't too loud. So I am back from my trip, and as you know, I was reading Small Boat. I did not finish this book. I started a new one and finished it instead. It's not like I was not enjoying it. It's just that I was 15ish pages into this book, and my plan was to read it in the car while we are on the way. And for some reason, so one thing about me is I have travel anxiety, and sometimes it never flares up during car rides, but this time it did. It usually flares up when I am taking a flight or a train. I don't know what happened, but my anxiety was at its peak and I was very nauseous. Another thing about me is every time I'm anxious, I will be nauseous, and then I will spend the entire trip just fighting the nausea because I'm also terrified of throwing up. So nothing works for me, you know. But yeah, that's why I did not read this book. And every time I was trying to read it while I was there, my brain was somehow relating this with nausea, and I did not want that, okay. But yeah, so I had to stop. And I mean, I will finish this book not this week but the next week for sure. Instead, I started Ghochar by Vivek Shanbag, and I read this baby in just 4 hours. I pulled an all-nighter to finish this one. So I haven't read a good Indian author in so long. I was just not gravitating towards it. Yes, I did read Heartlamp last month, but I read it because it won the Booker Prize, and you know, I wouldn't have gravitated towards it. Just like something that's been going on with me. So I have been in this Indian author slump for a long time, and I think finally it has been cured by Vivek Shanbag. So Ghochar is basically about this man. He's an unnamed protagonist who is trying to remember his childhood and everything that led him to that particular point. So basically, they used to come from a poor family, poor in the sense that they can only afford a 1 BHK, and they had 5 members in the family, and everything was happening within that one room and one kitchen. And this family somehow, they get rich overnight, and every time someone gets rich overnight, there's something fishy happening, and that is the story with this one as well. And so they get rich overnight and they have this superior complex all of a sudden, and they're throwing money. They think they can buy everything with that money, with that power. It's a story of power, silence, complicity. It's weird. I just don't know. And then in the future, he marries this woman who can see through this behavior of his family, and she would point that out and he would just refuse. He was in such a denial that he wasn't even ready to acknowledge that his wife is pointing out something. And so that led to a lot of stuff. It's just 115 pages, very tiny. I read it at night and absolutely enjoyed it. I am still trying. Oh, someone said that Vivek Shanbag is an Indian Chekhov. That's actually interesting take. I totally agree. Also, the cover is disgusting, but it makes complete sense when you read the story. I'm still trying to absorb the book because I just finished it yesterday. But these are my initial thoughts. But I will be able to give you a good review and maybe convince you guys to read it in the future. I don't think this was convincing enough, but we are going to do a good job. I'm sorry, I'm still tired. So yeah, that's the book. And what I want to read next, I actually have two options. We have Dopehri by Pankaj Kapur and we have Coming Up for Air by George Orwell. I am gravitating towards this. This is also a tiny book, not even 100 pages, it's 95 pages. Pankaj Kapur is basically Shahid Kapoor's dad. For those who don't know, he's also a filmmaker, and this was written as a play in Hindi, and they used to perform it in theaters, and then his wife convinced him to do a book, and now we have this here. Let me read you the blurb. It goes, Amma B is an elderly widow who lives alone in her deserted Lucknow Haveli. Every afternoon at precisely 3 o'clock, she hears the sound of unknown footsteps. Every afternoon she peeks out, but no one is there. In a state of growing panic, Amma B considers moving to an old people's home before finally taking in a lodger, a winsome young woman named Sabiha. Her arrival fills Amma B's lonely world with love and laughter, and Jumman, the household help, is transformed as well. And when Sabiha finds herself in trouble, Amma B must draw on hidden reserves of skill and empathy in order to resolve the situation. Maybe I should start it tonight. I will be able to finish it tonight, honestly, but I'm also tired, so maybe, I don't know, but this is the book I am gravitating towards, so this is what we are going to read instead of all that nonsense. Also, I have been feeling really anxious lately, and so I have been doing random journaling thingies. For some reason, I am obsessed with sardines, and I have been drawing them everywhere. Yeah, it's weird like that. Also, I wrote a piece yesterday that I want to read out loud. Not a piece, it's not a piece, it's just something I wrote, nothing. Look at me calling it a piece, it's not a piece. I actually have two, and should I read both? I would peel oranges for you, pomegranates too. I would let the juice sting the cuts on my fingers, hand you the sweetest bits, and pretend it didn't hurt. But if it came down to it, would you bleed for me? Not in poems, not in metaphors, not in I would do anything for you. You only say that when nothing is at stake. I mean, really, raw and ruined. Would you crack open your ribs the way I did? Because I know if you asked to touch my blood, my muscles, my marrow, I would have torn through skin just to hand you something you didn't even know how to hold. I'm actually proud of this one. I'm not proud of it. I would make some changes. I'm not proud of it, but it's not bad. And then this is something I wrote last night after finishing Ghachar Ghochar. If you're doing the other thingy, I wasn't sure if I want to, but let's do it. I make plans about the future, even on days I'm not sure I believe in one. I tell people someday and after this passes, and I will take you there like it's gospel. Like I know where I'm going. I pin cities to maps I haven't touched. I save cafes I may never visit. I daydream about sunlit rooms and quiet mornings and a version of me who's calm and soft and okay. I build a life in my head when the one I'm living feels too loud. I look at the paint swatches for walls I haven't seen. I talk about forever like I didn't cry in the shower last night. I imagine a love that stays. I know I'm stupid. A career that doesn't hurt. Friendships that don't vanish the second I stop trying, but then they usually do. Even when the ache is louder than hope, I still make plans. Even when everything feels uncertain, I still make plans. Not because I'm sure of anything, but because sometimes pretending I have a future is the only way I survive the day. So I try my best and make plans. Ta-da! Okay, I should actually go clean up the mess. Also, welcome to this part of the room. This is the other bookshelf that you don't get to see that often now, but I still have it. And this is the messier side that you don't get to see. Of course, you get to see it now. It's almost 8:30. I should actually clean up and then see what we are having for dinner, because I also need to finish some reports. So also I have had a lot of people complain about me not posting the bookshelf tour. It's just that the footage is 5 hours long. I don't know what I was yapping about, but I don't have the brain space to edit the entire thing. And so I think I'm just 20% through it. I'm not the editor. I should get one, but I don't have the money to hire an editor. But yeah, we shall see what happens to the bookshelf tour, but this video will see the light of the day. Mark my words. I don't know about the bookshelf tour. It will also see the light of the day eventually. Also, I filmed that video last month. I have made lots of changes in the entire shelf, so I don't know. Also, I forgot to record half the shelves and some videos got corrupt. Destiny, I think. No one wants the video, but we are going to see what I can do.
Fragile space in a single sail, white rocky island, you and I on the trail.
This is my third bottle of the serum. This is Cordeli's Vino Perfect, and it's so good. I love this one by Dew. It's in my defense, and then Foxtail actually sent me this one. My first skincare PR, by the way. And I have been using this one for like 5 days now. I don't think it's reacting with my skin, because if it was, I would have noticed that by now, but I'm not breaking out excessively or anything, or it's not burning my skin or anything. So yeah, someone asked me my honest thoughts on this one, and I never responded to that DM because I mean I have to use it to know if I like it or not. And so far I've just used it 4 or 5 times, so I can't really tell the difference. This is also the first ever thing I've tried from Foxtail. I've been wanting to try this stuff, but yeah. So maybe by like next vlog you might have an answer on whether I like it or not. And let's just hope they don't kick me out of their PR list after that. And I also started The Girl from the Other Side. It's a graphic novel. I started this morning after my workout, and this is just 185 pages or something, and I am 80 just 80 pages in. 85, I'm just 80 pages in. So I will go finish this one, because just 185 pages plus it's a graphic novel, so you don't have to read a ton. So it's basically about this girl and this shadow figure, and if the shadow figure touches anything, anyone, he basically sucks the life out of that thing, and so he cannot touch the girl, but the girl sort of treats him like this father figure thingy, and he has also developed liking towards this girl, is all I know so far. If I enjoy this first book, I will continue with the series because I like the drawings, I like the dialogues, I like everything so far about this book. So after finishing my work, I'm going to continue this baby. Also, I have already read three books this month, and we are just a couple of days in, which is insane. But then all the books I have read are either very tiny or very interesting, which, like, yeah. Anyway, I'll just get set working. I'll put you somewhere, you can see what I'm doing.
Pine straw beds, tangerine tears, t-shirts laid out like our grief